The festive season in full swing and the country a hive of activity, it seems it is also a busy period for criminals. The Governance, Public Safety and Justice Survey of 2019 and 2020 by StatsSA revealed that burglaries are still the most common crimes in the country. According to the agency, over a 5-year period, housebreaking or home invasions have consistently been the most common crime in South Africa, peaking particularly in June, September and December. These are all school holiday dates. Now, is an increase in crime during the festive season imminent, and will darkness caused by long periods of load shedding be a contributing factor? Tshwane University of Technology's Head of Safety and Security Management Department, Professor Kholofelo Rakubu, tells us more. Professor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, National Police Commissioner General Fani Masemola has said that the SAPs have intensified their resources around fighting crime, especially during this time of the year. Is it imminent that we will always have crime around the December season?
Thank you for having me. Good morning. Yes, we should always remember that crime is opportunistic and seasonal. So with this festive season, we must expect a rise. Why a rise in criminality? Possibly because let's attribute it to the remarkable increase of cash volumes, traveling, festivities, and so forth. So our communities, that activities makes them more vulnerable. So as much as crime is seasonal, I guess even law enforcement understands that we're going to have an increase, hence more visibility, hence other strategies on their side. But due to the nature of the season, beside opportunities, criminals as rational thinkers, they are always looking for opportunities. Is this season where people don't even care of their surroundings, people going to places they've never been before. We don't even care about our safety. As long as we can drink and have fun, we forget that over a period of 11 months, possibly, we've been worrying about strangers and so forth. But come festive season, we don't even care what we consume, at what time, where, with whom, and how. So, a criminal as a rational thinker, that now places us as suitable targets. And as suitable targets, the offender is about to strike because we are so vulnerable. We have opened gates. We are so welcoming. The season is in such a way that it's not in par with the evolving crime trends and patterns. We live in different times, but we want to celebrate as if this is still 1994, where crime is at its lowest. It's very much difficult. It's very much different. However, communities have not evolved to come in terms with what is happening in terms of criminality. This is the time where we are mostly vulnerable and unsafe.
And I mean, we don't have load shedding today, but one other opportunity presented to criminals is the element of load shedding. How much of an impact is load shedding now having, especially when it comes to housebreakings?
In terms of housebreaking, load shedding, remember we are suitable targets, right? Then with load shedding, we are highly vulnerable. It's crime risky, and people forget that. Why is it crime risky? As suitable targets, we are vulnerable. And as much as we are vulnerable, we utilize electronic devices for safety. Now, what makes us vulnerable is the fact that when there's load shedding, an offender has planned, and there are also opportunistic crimes. The modus operandi has even evolved because of load shedding. Now they are much smarter and quicker than they were before. So with load shedding, remember, I protect myself. I use devices. Now I can no longer use those devices. I'm highly vulnerable. Crime rate will go higher. Issues of alarm systems and so forth are compromised because of load shedding. And now, remember, darkness in itself triggers fear. And darkness in itself it excites the criminal mind. It perpetuates level of criminality. It's fun for an offender. And now, that is why today we hear of offenders now tripping the electricity and the electricity box and disarming electric fence and so forth. All those have been driven by the fact that there's load shedding. They do even consider the load shedding schedule or the power outage schedule to know which city are we going for and what is our modus operandi and how are we going to do it and who's vulnerable. And today, communities are very vulnerable. Darkness represents fear, and as much as there's fear, that is because we know an offender is on our case. We are not safe. And now, with an absence of a capable guardian comes in this way. Police officers or law enforcement agencies, we are not accessible during that time. An offender knows that. I don't have anywhere to report because in other places, when there's load shedding, I can't even utilize my cell phone to call for help. When I have been endangered, when I'm injured, I cannot even call for help. So now the death rate is going to go higher, crime rate is going to go higher, and the offenders know we don't have anyone to call. We are not safe. So load shedding in itself increases level of vulnerability and increases level of crime as well.
Sure, we are really in a very tough place in South Africa. But Prof, apart from house robberies, which other crimes do you find are more prevalent at this time of the year and why?
At this time of the year, what is more prevalent is rape. There's culture of overindulgence. And with that, there's high rate of drink spiking. We don't even understand what we are drinking. We are invited to parties. Next thing I'm pregnant, I don't even know where I got it because it's December, man. I should just drink and not even know my name. Besides that, we are going to have the burglaries, of course. Cash in transits is given because of what? The cash volumes. And what again? The GBVs. We're going to fight for bonuses. It's the time of the year where my spouse who's been away for 6 months is coming home and things have changed and they are frustrated because of finances or the nature of the environment where they find our home in, and I might be victimized. I'm going to be blamed for things I don't know that happened possibly in Johannesburg. So we're going to go for GBV, we're going for rape, we're going for any alcohol-related drinking and driving. There's culture of drinking and driving in South Africa, irregardless of the laws, irregardless of strict laws that have been, or repercussions that have been mentioned. Our brothers and sisters are on the road intoxicated. So we're going to have high volume of accidents. And I should also bring in issue of load shedding because now our street lights, our traffic lights are not working. And as much as they are not working, we have impatient drivers on the road. So they are going to do as they please on the road, plus intoxication. So it's going to be high accident roads, rapes because of overindulgence, because of spiking and so forth,